guys, welcome. We are so excited to be here today. Thank you to RE Technology. We're just so thankful that we get to partner with such an amazing group of people to bring you guys some awesome content. And we're going to focus today on truly maximizing your opportunities for listings. You know, it is such a seller's market right now, you know, and the industry is just so completely competitive. So what are the secrets of successful lead generation? How can we market ourselves appropriately and put ourselves out there to really get yourself in the best position to get more listings? So we are going to talk all about that today, but just a little bit about ourselves, since you have to listen to Dylan and I for the next, hour and a half. My name is Stephanie Alfonso. I'll officially introduce myself. I live in Tampa, Florida. I have been here for, over 26 years now. I'm originally from Massachusetts, but I am definitely, I think after 25 years, the Boston accent goes away and I'm just, Floridian at this point. But I had mentioned before, I have 2 daughters in college. I actually have 4 total. The twins are seniors in college. And we have a 19-year-old and a 16-year-old. So the household is very exciting and always stuff going on for sure. But as a business development consultant here with Elevate, just like Dylan, we just love to educate and to inspire and provide just quality information to make a difference in your business starting today. That is absolutely our goal. My passion is teaching. Actually, while my kids were growing up, I taught for over 15 years. Not what you would expect. I was actually a dance teacher while my kids were growing up, ballet, tap, jazz, contemporary, you name it. Was raised by a real estate agent and mortgage lender. So I feel like I can kind of blend all of my worlds of marketing and education into what we get to do here today. So definitely a passion of mine. Dylan, share with us a little bit about you, my friend.
Yeah, so my name's Dylan Handy. I, as well, am a business development consultant here with Elm Street Technology, which we'll talk a little bit about them here shortly. But, I have been involved in the real estate marketing industry for, 10 years now, kind of crazy to say. And I'm part of the educational team. We travel all across the country teaching agents just like you guys about online marketing, social media marketing. And I'm really passionate about it. I've actually really been involved in real estate my entire life. From a little kid, I remember being involved, or at least seeing my father, who's a real estate agent, involved in some type of real estate aspect. So it's in my blood. I'm really passionate about it. And I actually grew up in the Boston area as well. But I have recently moved down to New York City, which is a very exciting move. Survived the hurricane, which ultimately was really just a rainstorm for my area. But anyways, so excited to be here with all of you guys today. And just to echo what Stephanie said, our goal today is, we know it's such a seller's market. We know it's still, listings right now. Agents are begging us, how do I get that listing opportunity, that seller lead? And we're going to give you guys some actionable ways on how to gain some serious seller lead generation in this current market.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. But like Dylan said, a little bit about who we are, Elm Street Technology, or Elevate. What we have done, which is really awesome and unique with our company, is we have spent several years purchasing best-in-class of real estate technology companies, blending them all together to really create a mega company, being the leading provider of education in all areas of real estate technology, under the umbrella we're proud to call Elevate. So guys, speaking of Elevate, stay connected with us at Try Elevate RE on every single one of our platforms, guys. By doing so, you will have an opportunity to continue this education and this motivation by checking out things that we're doing, where we're traveling, where we're teaching, different webinars, articles, videos, including, Dylan, why don't you share a little 2 seconds about the new video series that has been getting rave reviews called Getting Social with Dylan?
Yeah. So like Steph said, we really are motivated in educating you guys. So we're actually investing in a lot of content that is a program we're calling Getting Social with Dylan. And the sole purpose is teaching you how to utilize your social media for lead gen. So definitely watch for that. We do a lot of live events, Facebook live events, webinar series. So If you guys want to keep this motivation and inspiration we're going to provide with you here today, go follow us at Try Elevate RE and or Getting Social with Dylan. But some housekeeping things I want to go over quick before we get started. First, if you have questions, we are going to try to answer all your questions. So type them into that chat box. Stephanie and or I will try to get those questions answered live. However, we have a team of panelists here today ready to answer your questions as well. So watch that chat box. They will answer your questions if we're not able to get to them right away. Also, at any point, if you do feel overwhelmed, you're stressed, or at any point you feel like you need a little bit more assistance, don't hesitate, don't panic. We're here to help. You can type in schedule me at any point throughout the chat, and we will go ahead and get you scheduled for a one-on-one session with either me, Stephanie, or one of our other coaches for a half an hour Zoom training. Now, there's no cost for these. The benefit in these is we're gonna take a look at what your online marketing looks like and give you some advice on how to improve it. Our goal in doing that is to get you guys as motivated and excited about online marketing that you'll continue to use us as a resource. So big benefit. If you need help, just go ahead and take advantage of that. And then finally, at the end of the seminar, we will have a Q&A session. So we will try to get all the questions answered, do some follow-up. Again, we want to make sure you walk with all your questions answered, motivated, and inspired here today.
Absolutely. All right, so let's go over and talk about what we're going to talk today. We're really going to focus in today on how we are going to get in front of and find sellers through both organic means or free means and, of course, paid means of traffic to your business. Now, those organic leads, we're going to talk about how to maximize your social media, multiple platforms, and also your SEO, search engine optimization, a free or an organic way to be found in Google and the search engines. And we're also going to, of course, discuss paid lead generation. What exactly are you investing into to capture people that are online, raising their hand, looking to buy or sell? And of course, today, those who are looking to sell. And we're going to discuss different kind of interruption versus search-based marketing. And then, of course, finally, winning that listing. What to bring, what to prepare yourself with to really, really be able to get in that living room, knock it out of the park, and get more listings today. All right, we're going to focus on all of that. But Dylan, kind of kick us off here and start with the main source, the main, I guess, hub of everything we're going to talk about with their online presence, where that begins.
Yeah, well, there's all aspects to online marketing, right? It's never a one versus the other. People always say to me, well, if I'm going to invest in online marketing, where should I invest my time? And the reality is online lead generation starts with an entire online presence. It's not an if or that. Everything needs to work together. Everything needs to be integrated, and everything needs to be kind of consistent to gain a lot of value. So one of the first places I kind of want to highlight would be your website. Your website we'll dive into is going to be a great place for you to kind of learn. That's the front door to your business. But let's share some seller stats here first, right? So when we talk about sellers, okay, actually, when we talk about buyers and sellers, 93% of buyers and sellers hire the first agent they meet with, while only 86% interview only 2 agents, right? So what we always say here, Steph, is you're not the first agent I think of, you're missing that huge opportunity, right? So you've got to be top of mind to your sphere of influence and be that first agent that a buyer and or seller thinks of. But when we talk about sellers specifically here today, sellers, 94% of consumers feel confident about selling their home when they start their research. So think about that. When we think of like buyers, for example, buyers, we often call them looky-loos, right? A lot of times they're online dreaming about when they can move, what kind of their dream home might be, or, just peeking around because they're more curious. But at the same time, they're not really self-assured. They're not really ready to make that move oftentimes. Whereas on the other hand, sellers, 94% of them, when they start their journey, they've already made that decision that they're looking to sell their home. In fact, 58% of sellers who sold before spent only 3 hours or less researching how to sell their home. So the importance here, it's a short window, and it's also, a good investment because people, when they do that research, they've already made that decision. So you want to be the first agent they find and or think of when starting their selling journey. So as I mentioned earlier, let's start with the first step of that. Stephanie, how do we target those sellers first? And that's the most important place to get started on that is your website. Talk to them about that.
Absolutely, 100%, Dylan. Your website is the front door to your business, and it absolutely is the centerpiece to all online lead generation. And they're not just for buyers. A lot of times agents will think, that your website is just kind of a searching tool for your buyers or a tool for their buyers. There's a huge value to your web presence for your sellers too. After all, it is your online fingerprint, right? But it's so important to remember that having a dynamic web presence is absolutely crucial for your business, and especially when you consider all forms of lead generation. Start here. So, maintaining an active presence online with your website that has effective lead capture, that you have a website that is equipped with email campaigns, or I can go to your website as a resource to find out exactly what my home is worth. A powerful CRM in the back end, that workflow management system to be able to import your leads and be able to manage them effectively from one place. All are key components to targeting sellers. And just again, remember, it is the centerpiece for you to be found online. Okay. Now, so there's a couple things. Unfortunately, most people that we speak to, most agents will say, well, gosh, I get little to no traffic or activity, let alone any business from my website. So there's a few things that we need to take a look at. First and foremost, guys, you've got to make sure that you have the kind of website where you can invite people. You want to invite everybody to use your website, that they can search and use your website freely and privately and only ever find you. You want your website to be, of course, mobile optimized, so I can use your website on my phone just like I would a national portal, that I can search freely and privately and only ever be in contact with you. I always say your website should be like your own independent Zillow. And then, of course, there's also the portability issue of your website. Oftentimes, agents have a website, but oftentimes it is a broker-provided website. And whereas most brokerages do provide a website, you can certainly take that, but we don't recommend you rely solely on that website. Think about it. If you were to ever leave that brokerage, what happens to your website? Right? It's gone, right? All your SEO is gone, all your branding's gone. You got to start all over again. Right? Or what makes your website different than anybody else in your office? You might have a prettier headshot and a more impressive bio, but on the back end, it's the same as everybody else's. What's going to make your website stand out to Google and the search engines versus anybody else's? So we recommend that in conjunction with whatever your broker provides, that you invest in your own independent website that goes where you go and grows as you grow. Also, make sure, again, since we're targeting sellers, make sure that you have that centerpiece to your business where I can go and get a free market analysis. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you are being intentional about how are you actually driving traffic to your website? What makes your website dynamic versus static, right? A static website, guys, is just sitting in the search engines, getting no traffic, no activity. It's no different than taking your business card and putting it on the bulletin board at Starbucks and expecting it to move around and meet people, right? It's not going to do it on its own. You've got to attach it. You've got to connect it to something that's always changing. And that's always getting traffic and activity. And guys, what gets the most traffic and activity and engagement really comes down to what? Content and social media. Right? We're going to talk a lot about that here today. Online, social media gets the most traffic and activity online on the internet. And also when we're talking about blogging and content, that's what's really going to get your website analyzed, indexed, and valued in Google and the search engines. Building SEO. So Dylan, talk to us. How can we actually build SEO within our website, by utilizing integrated blogs?
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, building your SEO is so important. With real estate searches online higher than they've ever been right now, we've got to say, how do we increase our search engine value like Google? And one of the best ways to do that is through content creation, like blogging. Now, you probably are aware what a blog is, whether you've read one or not. A blog is basically an online newsletter, and it's really designed to make you look like an expert in something, right? You see health blog, cooking blog, fitness blog. A real estate blog, you're an expert in real estate. Now, the other benefit of blogging is content building. I'm sure you guys have heard this before, but content's king. Well, what does that mean? Anytime you write an article or a blog, it's going to force Google and search engines to read it, analyze it, index it, increase your keywords, increase your value online. So the why is to make you look like an expert in your industry and to build a really strong SEO value. But you want to make sure that blog is embedded directly in your website. A lot of times agents will tell me, well, I do blogs, or I pay a company to do blogs for me, but it's on someone else's domain name, or it's on another domain name. It's not within their website. So really important that you're blogging content integrated inside your website. We'll get on this, we'll talk about this a little bit further here in a second, but when we talk about blogging, you want to be consistent. I actually encourage you to post to your page a minimum of about 2 to 3 times per week, minimum. Any less than that, it can hurt you in the search engines. Google will say it's an inactive or dead blog, doesn't want to send users to an inactive or dead blog. So for today's purposes, since we're so focused on sellers, let's talk about content geared for sellers, right? How about blogging some real estate articles? Maybe blogging articles about things to consider before you sell your home, key factors on how to sell your home. Is it the right time to sell your home? All keywords that are specific and geared, not just for real estate, but maybe for your goal in your audience, which is to develop more listings, home sellers, homeowners. So real estate articles geared for homeowners. Excuse me. Also, some lifestyle content. It doesn't have to just be real estate specific. How about blog updates such as, lifestyle content, better homes and gardens, financial advice, again, home ownership detail, painting my room to make it look bigger, home projects to improve the value of my home, all things like that, again, geared for homeowners. But the 2 most important things you can do geared for targeting sellers is listing updates, and transactions, and market reports. So let's break those down each individually. So let's go to the next slide and show them what that listing activity looks like on blogs. So I know you're taking all your listings and you're putting them into MLS, which you should be doing. But when you put them into MLS, they go into a database. And then that database takes your listing and puts it across 1 million websites at one time. So it actually does nothing for your individual SEO value at all. So instead, here's what I recommend. Take your listings, put them into MLS, but also log them. Think about this. Now, Google and search engines are going to index all these key terms: new listing, open house, sold, 123 Main Street, street addresses. Give you a quick example of this, Stephanie. I know, I sold my own home back in Massachusetts in January. So I actually saw firsthand how hot of a market it is. I think within the first week, I got all like 5 overpriced offers like right away, which was mind blowing to me. But anyways, here's why I bring this up to you. Before I put my house on the market, there's a couple of other condos in my area and in my complex that actually recently sold in this market. So before I even put my house on the market, before I even started a conversation with my agent, I was doing my own research, Googling these street addresses, looking up what they sold their home for, doing a physical Google search of their street address. People Google street addresses all the time. So having a blog post with hyperlocal keywords, real estate keywords, hyperlocal street addresses is a great way to help you get found organically and get you some listing opportunities. I'm going to tell you, homeowners Google street addresses, so make sure you have that in the title. And maybe you don't have listings right now, and that's kind of the point you're here, right? Well, here's the thing. You can actually outsource for some of your listings. Reach out to your broker. See if there's an agent in your office that has additional properties that they're looking for additional property promotion on. As long as you get written permission from your broker and that listing agent, you can showcase that property on your blog. And I have many agents do this. So don't be afraid to outsource, network, even if you don't have listings, but make sure you blog some listing activities. I say it before, I'll say it again, how you promote your properties, guys, really will brand you as an agent. And promoting your properties in such an intense level we're going to show you here today is going to help get you more listing opportunities down the road. Now, another thing we can talk about, market reports, right? Now, this is great, especially if you don't have any listings. How about blog what the market looks like? This is data each one of you can pull directly from your MLS, populate it in a couple of seconds into a blog post, and have a link over to some type of lead capture landing page. Ideally, maybe like a free market analysis landing page within your website. Stephanie talked about that earlier. Having a free market analysis landing page in your site, really, really powerful and important tool. But this is information both buyers and sellers want to know. Hey, what's the market look like? And the benefit here is, as a homeowner, I can read this article and you can almost implant that idea into my mind of, hey, maybe I should consider what my home would go for right now. It's such a crazy market right now. Home valuation is up X%. Maybe I should consider selling my home, right? So you provide that information, provide that opportunity to start that conversation.
Yeah, and a lot of times brokers will provide their agents, market updates and things like that, but that lead capture will go towards the brokerage. We recommend doing it within your own online experience. So when I want to check the values of homes in that area, I just found out Susie next door sold her home for 20 over asking price, right? That lead capture can go directly to you and only you. So important.
Exactly. And look, you don't want to just keep your blog residing on your blog. To maximize SEO benefit, maximize Google value, maximize exposure, you want to take that blog and share it everywhere. So you're going to take the URL, www.whateveryourblogis.com, and share it across all the social media platforms. Now, by sharing across all the social media platforms, first, you're going to help build a higher SEO value. Remember, Google's going to see that your blog is shared across multiple touch points, therefore it must have higher value. Also, it's going to reach a larger audience. Remember, there's different demographics on each of these social platforms. So you're going to reach a larger audience, which in turn will drive some more traffic back to you. One of the things that we always talk about, Stephanie, is, being top of mind, right, to your sphere of influence. And I know you're going to touch on this here because, doing this level of integration, content creation, consistency, really maximizes many benefits: branding, top of mind, SEO. So really, really important that agents maximize these opportunities.
Absolutely, 100%, 100%. So again, we talked about the importance of building SEO, giving your website value and content change, and creating that dynamic presence through consistent content change within your web experience. But like I mentioned to you guys before, what has the most traffic and activity on the internet is your social media. And we want you to utilize your social media as like super highways, driving traffic right there to the front door of your business. So a couple benefits, of course, of being on social media, other than, of course, lead generation. But just think about the exposure that you're getting. Everyone's on social media, right? So the average time spent on social media, statistically, we found was over between 45 and 120 minutes a day. And over 70% of Facebook users are logging in 6 to 10 times a day. The average time spent between 13 and 20 minutes each visit. Whole lot of time being spent on Facebook. I know I'm guilty of it, right? Dylan, I know you are too. I see your little green dot there all the time. YouTube, over 1 billion users and over 300 hours of YouTube is uploaded every single minute. It's utilized more by millennials than cable television, that's for sure. They don't even know what cable television is at this point. LinkedIn, over 500 million active users on LinkedIn, over 300 million active users on Twitter, super powerful platform, and over 1 billion people are using Instagram every single month. So with these statistics in mind, you think that you guys need to be there? Absolutely. So incredibly important. So I will tell you guys this, it is absolutely crucial that you guys are on every single social media platform that I mentioned. You don't want to just be on Facebook or just be on LinkedIn or Twitter. There's a different demographic on each and every platform. And I want you guys to be active and consistent and intentional with each and every one of these. Not just focusing more on one or the other, guys. Again, remember, content shared to multiple platforms is going to give you higher SEO value and higher algorithm value within the social platforms itself. But let's first dive into what we all know is still the #1 platform on the internet today, and that is Facebook. So important that you guys are on Facebook, especially with the incredible amount of usage on it. And I recommend that you guys all have a Facebook business page. Everyone here has a Facebook business page, right? Right? Anyone not have a Facebook business page? You guys better start today. So, but the key to being truly successful in your real estate business is to be consistent. Consistency is absolutely key. Again, we recommend posting at a minimum of 2 to 3 times per week to see significant results. Very, very, very important, guys, within your Facebook business page. If you are utilizing your personal page, you can actually get thrown into what's called Facebook jail. So make sure all business content originates on your business page, okay? But what should we be posting? What kind of stuff should we be posting on our Facebook page? I go on agents' business pages every day. And Dylan, right, we see this, typically the same type of information. New listing, open house, buy with me, sell with me. I love your referrals, new listing, open house, new listing. All that is great, right? You should be posting that stuff. But if that's all you're posting, the only people that are going to find your content interesting or engaging are people who are interested in buying or selling, right? But let's be honest, the majority of people on your page are not interested in the market right now. For your sake, I hope someday they will be, right? But right now they're not. So how are we going to be interesting and engaging and valuable to your entire audience? Is by posting what we call value set information. Value set information. Think about everything Dylan just talked about with your blog. All of those blog articles, whether it be, 5 easy steps to organizing your garage, or tips for adding value to your home, or sprucing up your curb appeal, or fall decorating tips and tricks, or top 10 things to do in your town this summer, or articles on getting your kids ready for school, whatever it might be. You want to make sure that you are posting these type of articles consistently, because quite frankly, that's what people are interested, reading, and engaged with all the time on Facebook. Now, I will tell you guys this, something that's really important to remember is make sure the articles that you are posting are self-branded. A lot of times I'll go to agents, blogs or their Facebook page, and they'll have so many articles on there that are great content, great articles. But when I look to see where they're from Inman News, Huffington Post, Back at You Media, Circle Picks, Realtor.com, Zillow. And if I were to click on those articles, guys, if I were to click on any one of those articles that you have on your page, where's it going to take me? To them, right? Exactly. To Zillow. That's the last place you want to send your audience, right? You think about, and guys, big companies like Zillow and Realtor have whole departments that all they do is create content for agents, and it's good content because their goal is you're going to put it on your Facebook page. I'm going to click on it. It's going to take me over to Zillow. They're going to capture me as a lead and then maybe sell me back to you next month in a zip code. Right? Happens all the time. So make sure that all of your articles are self-branded, meaning they come from your domain, your blog, your website. That way, when I click on it, takes me back to you, takes me back to your domain, building your SEO where there's lead capture opportunities, creating what we call that gated experience under the umbrella of your business, right? So that when I'm on your Facebook, there's nowhere else to go but right back to your business. So incredibly important. So lifestyle content, interesting articles, market updates, again, especially in today's market. This is an awesome opportunity. Again, I'm on your page. I just found out what my neighbor sold her home for. I want to check out the values in this area. I click on it. That lead capture takes me directly to you, to your website, where I can check out the value of my home. And that information goes directly to you and only you. So, so important, guys. So make sure you're putting lots of different information, interesting articles, engaging articles, market updates. And then, of course, everything that we're doing here, guys, I want you to keep this at the forefront of your mind. Whether we're posting photos and videos, again, another great way to engage your audience. Listing updates, we'll talk about here in a second, blog articles, market updates, everything that we're posting consistently to your social media is truly to tap into one of the most powerful tools you have at your fingertips, which is top of mind marketing. Top of mind marketing, being that first person people think of when they're ready to buy or sell. Isn't that the whole name of the game in real estate? Think about it. I mean, marketers say you need to be in front of somebody 25 times before they'll do business with you. 25 times. You go broke doing that with mailings, guys, right? But here's the good news. Where are people 6 to 10 times a day, 13 to 20 minutes each visit? They're on Facebook. Be consistent. Provide value. so that when I'm ready, when it's time for me to buy or sell, you're the name that comes to top of mind. If you can crack just that code alone, you are going to be very successful and truly be the person I think of that moment I'm ready to get my home listed. All right, so all of this, we're building our brand, we're being top of mind, we're providing value, but the name of the game in real estate is also leads, right? So how can we really set ourselves up for success and start generating leads organically through your social media? And a lot of that has to do with the way that you are posting, the way that you are marketing your listings. So Dylan, why don't you take it from here and kind of share with us the way, that kind of the right and the wrong way that agents are doing this so we can start doing it effectively.
Yeah, so let's show them. Look, most agents I work with, they get all excited. They got a brand new listing. They post a bunch of their pictures on their Facebook. They write a short description like, hey, check out my new listing, 123 Main Street, call me. Well, as a millennial, I'm certainly not going to call you. Maybe we'll text you, but that's a big if, right? That's a big if because no one's doing that anymore, right? We're all about efficiency and, to a millennial, that's a lot of work to make that phone call. But here's the point. There's no lead capture. There's no SEO benefit by doing a post like this. There's not full listing sheet. So what if I want to know the taxes of the school zone? If I don't find the information I'm looking for, I might go to another national portal. Or worst case, maybe I like the neighborhood you've got that home in, but you know what? I don't like that home. Am I able to search more properties from your Facebook post? No. So here's a good example. That one with that red X is how most agents are doing it. They take a photo or a couple of photos and a short description and slap it on their Facebook with a prayer that they get some business. The one with the green check is what's called an optimized Facebook post. Optimized Facebook post. The title, a photo, and a short description, but when I click it, it actually is a live active link, which should take me to a website, blog, or landing page. Any of those three doesn't matter, but that landing page needs to have some type of lead capture. Some way you can capture the lead's information and ideally put it into some type of CRM, client management relations system. You need full listing sheet, so I can learn entirely about that property and not have to go to another location. And it needs MLS IDX search capabilities. So again, I can search the entire MLS and again, not have to leave. So an example you can see here, Tracy, she did a title, a photo, short description. I click it, goes back to her website, blog, or landing page, where there's that lead capture and integration. So you guys can see the difference. A minor change in how you post can actually get you higher results overall. And we're going to talk about how you can then take that post, that optimized post, and boost it for a fraction of the cost to your areas, towns, or neighborhoods to maximize your advertising opportunities.
That's right, guys. It's all about creating that gated experience, keeping your audience under the umbrella of your business. So important. All right, so let's dive into our other social media platforms here. Again, just as important. You need to be just as active on the other social platforms as you would Facebook. Again, different demographic on each one. Starting with LinkedIn, which happens to be my favorite. This is your business network. This is an opportunity for you to build top of mind with other business professionals, both in and outside of your industry. And it also has very, very high SEO value. Let me ask you guys this. How many of you, if you want to put kind of your raise hand button on your Zoom toolbar, how many of you have a LinkedIn profile? Probably most of you, if I were to guess, right? How many of you guys want to use that raise hand button? How many of you have a LinkedIn profile? So I know almost everybody, right, has a LinkedIn profile, but I want you to think about this. How many of you are active and consistent with posting to that activity log, right? Probably a lot of our hands would go down at that point, right? And that's very common, but we've kind of changed that. So think about this, guys. If I were to Google your name and you have a LinkedIn profile, whether you're active on it or not, it's going to be one of the first things that comes up when I Google your name. So that tells me we've got to have our best foot forward on this platform, right? No exceptions. You want to be just as active on LinkedIn as you would your Facebook. So that's 2 to 3 times per week to really see significant results. So I'll make this easy for you. You want to be posting everything that you would be posting to your blog and onto your Facebook onto your LinkedIn, whether it's photos, videos, whether it's lifestyle content, articles, real estate information, those market updates, new listings, solds, open houses, all of that. You want to make sure you're posting all of that kind of content to your Facebook as well. Again, nurturing that audience and driving them directly back to you. So make sure that they are self-branded, and of course, optimize articles so we can turn your LinkedIn into another superhighway driving traffic to your business. Now, the other reason why I love LinkedIn so much, it is the #1 agent-to-agent referral platform on the internet. So yes, I want you to be friends with other agents on LinkedIn. As a matter of fact, I want you to connect with as many other agents as you possibly can. There's far more value to connecting with other agents than not. So don't look at me funny there, right? But I'll tell you guys this. I had a friend of mine. She was a client, or she is a client, but she was an agent up in New England for over 20 years. When she moved to the Tampa Bay area where I live, she was busy like right away with business. I couldn't believe it. And I was asking her, hey, how's business going? I mean, I'm shocked that you're so busy. You just moved here. You know what she did? She was connected to so many agents up in New England. And I'm sure you guys can imagine where people from New England are moving to all the time, every day, right? Down to Florida. Dylan, I know you did for a while. They're all coming here. So she reached out to all these agents on LinkedIn. Hey, everyone, if you know anybody that wants to take a look at a condo in St. Pete Beach, I'd love to work with you. Tons of referral business from this. Also in the Tampa Bay area, I have a lot of agents that do a lot of referral business with agents in Miami, especially Spanish speaking. So guys, think about it. Who connect with other agents, showcase that you are the expert in your community, so that, next time there's an agent that lives, an hour or two away, and they know somebody moving into your area or looking to sell their home in your area, and they're not wanting to make the drive, you're the name that's going to come to top of mind. So maximize this presence, guys. Super high SEO, that agent-to-agent referral platform. Now, let's focus on Twitter for a second here. Twitter, guys, this is your millennial platform. That is the #1 demographic on Twitter, are the millennials. Now, I am not a millennial. I know a lot of you might be shocked by that. I do have a filter on my Zoom here. But I will tell you guys that we need to be looking at millennials as the next group of home buyers and the next group of home sellers. There was a stat that came out not too long ago showing that 5 years ago was the biggest boom of first-time home buyers, of millennials being first-time home buyers. And now there's an enormous boom of millennials who are financially savvy selling their first home. So it is truly, truly a gold mine for you to really, really connect with that millennial generation. For those of you who maybe are like, I could care less about connecting with millennials. Maybe you work in a 55 and up community. I work with a lot of brokers in the villages. And if you guys are familiar, we call it Senior Disney here in Florida. Broker was telling me, why do I need to be on Twitter? I don't need to connect with those millennials. Within the same breath, he was telling me about everyone he works with, their kids are doing a lot of the legwork for them. And I kind of looked at him and he had big eyes and he goes, I need to be on Twitter. I said, yes, sir. So you guys need to be on there too. It has an open forum. We don't even have to be friends for you to see my posts. So it has extremely high SEO. So everything, guys, that you are doing on LinkedIn, that you're posting on your Facebook and your blog, you should also be posting on Twitter. Think of the value that posting all those listing updates would bring you to all those home buyers and sellers. Think about all the value of posting relevant content, interesting articles would bring to your Twitter, simply because of how powerful the retweet feature is. I put an article on my Twitter. I'm an agent on childproofing your home. Well, I'm connected to my yoga studio instructor. She's a mom. She has about a couple hundred agents following her. She sees that post, super valuable. She retweets it. Now who sees it? All those other parents, all those other moms that follow her, and then they retweet it. You guys see where I'm going with this. Social media, especially Twitter, is the quickest and easiest way to reach hundreds to potentially thousands of people with the click of a button. You've got to have a strong Twitter presence, guys. You do not have to have two separate business, and personal platforms. You can combine them all into one. There's no Twitter jail. So that's no problem. Just make sure you're not posting controversial content and all that good stuff. If you want to do that, get into Twitter Wars, do it on a separate account, but you will not be penalized for doing business within your personal platform. So guys, 2 to 3 times per week, connect with those millennials, build that SEO, guys, and have a strong Twitter presence. So super important. Dylan, our resident millennial, talk to us about Instagram, because you are the Instagram king.
Yeah, Instagram, one of the most popularly growing platforms out there. Instagram is more of a photo and video based platform, so not really as ideal for driving traffic to like links. Although a great way to get that opportunity is to set up your Instagram as a business profile. If you set up as a business profile, you can put a link in your bio. There's option to put links in other posting ways. And I'll also mention this, gives you insights into your activity, your following, your audience. So when we talk about targeting listings specifically here today, one of the most important things, again, is to be posting your transactional activities. Now, we encourage you to kind of highlight specs about the property. Maybe if it's got a nice kitchen or a nice view, use that as the main photo, and also have some call to action for like a banner or something, right? This can kind of help draw your users' attention in here. You can see an example here. This client just sold their property in 10 days. So you can see here, big banner, just sold, helps draw attention to that actual post. You can do listing virtual tours. You want to do these 30-second clips of maybe a highlight of the property, or market report videos or pictures. If housing is up, increased valuation in a certain amount right now, showcase that in an image. Look, I even have clients that do a market report Mondays, and they go ahead and take their phone, they put it on the dashboard of their car, and they talk about the market. No, of course, they're not driving, so none of that, but ultimately they're talking to that audience. Hey, everybody, the market's so hot right now. Home valuation is here. This is where you can, we've seen low inventory based off of this. Home valuation's gone here. This is what I've seen with my business. And then at the end, you can even have a poll question. On Instagram, if you do a story, which I'll talk about here in a second, you can have a poll question on your story that says, do you want to know the value of your home? Yes or no? And then that audience that selects yes, you're going to have a list of them, and that gives you the opportunity to start a conversation, right? Instagram stories is a little different than a post to your Instagram. An Instagram story is a photo or video that lasts for 24 hours. And it's supposed to showcase the story of your day. So what better way to utilize it than poll questions for your audience who wants to know what their home would go for in this market? And again, gives you that opportunity to start those conversations, implant that idea in those homeowners' minds about the value of their home, and start that conversation.
Yeah, super important, guys. Now, YouTube, again, a super powerful platform for your business, especially when it comes to lead capture. And I'll tell you guys why in a second. But YouTube, guys, Google owns it. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but Google owns YouTube. So think about it. Do you think Google is going to want to send users to its own platform? You bet, guys. So powerful. It is a video-based platform. So you want to make sure, especially because you're going to get such incredibly high value, that there are some things that you are incorporating and kind of housing on your YouTube channel. Now, video, you guys know, you hear it everywhere you go. It's the here, the now, it's everything. You should be engaging in video. But even if you did no other video kind of content, which we're going to talk about because you should be, but even if you didn't, it is so crucial that on your YouTube channel, make sure it's yours, not your brokers, not your photographers. All you have to do to have a YouTube channel is go to youtube.com, have a Gmail email, and you can have a free platform. You don't have to have the paid version, but you must always post your listing virtual tours. Any listing you have, make sure you have a virtual tour on your YouTube channel. Now, it doesn't have to be super fancy. You can simply stitch photos together, lay them over some music, put them on your YouTube. What matters to Google is whether you have in that title. Do you have a street address in that title? Do you have a link to your website in that description in the comment section, guys? Because think about it. If I were to Google a street address of one of your listings, right? I'm driving by right now. I've gotten letters in my mailbox with people begging me to sell. driving by, they're waiting for a street sign. That street sign gets plopped in the yard. They Google that street address. Where do you think Google will send me to first? You bet. You bet. Absolutely, to your YouTube channel. If you've got that street address in that title, so valuable for lead capture, and then link me right back up to your website where I can get more information on that property and be connected directly to you. So valuable for lead capture. Now, if you have a $5 million listing, maybe up your game and have something a little snazzier on there as well. But the main purpose here is for that lead capture. So other kind of videos, market report videos like Dylan talked about, that's super, super powerful right now, especially to capture the attention of potential sellers and talk about, hey, this house just sold for 20 over asking price. Want to know what your house would go for? Link up to my website and get a free market analysis now. Client testimonials, man, the best way to get referral business are from past clients. So connect with your past clients. Let them share a couple 30-second or 60-second video of how much they loved working with you. I will tell you this. I actually, when I closed on my house, March 15th of last year, same day I got stay-at-home orders, I wasn't going to be traveling, did a quick little funny video for my agent talking about how I'm not driving my family nuts now, doing webinars. I have my own home office. She shared it to all of her social media. I had no idea we knew all these people in common. She got several listings just from that video of people that I knew, our girls did ballet together or whatever it might be. So valuable, guys. And just like with my agent, the key to everything you're putting on your YouTube channel, don't just leave it on YouTube, share it everywhere. From YouTube, share it to your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, put it everywhere. So valuable.
Steph,
right,
let me just echo one quick thing, because I think it was so important. I don't want to let this be missed, but that testimonial, having that client, maybe if you help a buyer, or actually even better, you helped a seller sell their home, get that video, 30 seconds with them on camera saying, oh, I'm so happy, you're the best agent ever. You helped sell my home in 10 days for X over asking price. Huge value. So guys, outsource your past sales, your past clients as well.
Yep, so valuable, guys. Again, guys, all this information, we know it's a lot. We do not want to overwhelm you. We absolutely want to help you and be a resource. So again, if you would like a little bit of help, would like to schedule a one-on-one with myself, Dylan, or a member of our amazing team here, type schedule me in the chat box. We'd be happy to connect with you and find a time that works, to take a look at what you got, what you don't got, where we can help fill in some gaps. Again, we want to be a resource for you for all of your online presence and help you guys get more listings fast. All right, guys. So now we've been focusing so much on that organic traffic, building top of mind, building your brand and your brand awareness, providing value, nurturing your audience. But so now let's kind of pivot a second here and talk about, what are you actually investing in to be able to capture potential sellers online? What are the best and fastest sources for capturing potential sellers? Because a lot of times agents will say, gosh, I don't know, I'm a little bit nervous to invest in online leads. I know they're expensive. Am I going to get good leads from it? Am I going to get a return on my investment? Am I going to get quality, potential sellers, and how can I do that? So let's kind of explore kind of the differences between a couple of different sources for online leads and see where we can really maximize it, especially in today's market. So really, guys, Dylan, share with us the difference. We talked about there's two different really kind of paid sources online. There's that interruption-based marketing. There's that search-based marketing. Help us to navigate the differences between the two.
Yeah, there's two forms of serious online lead generation sources. So there is search-based marketing, which is what is also called PPC, pay per click ads on search engines like Google, Yahoo, Bing. Then there's interruption-based marketing. This is like Facebook. So it basically is designed where it's interrupting what the consumer is doing. So I go to Facebook, I'm looking at what my friends and family did, and up pops an ad, I click it. Whereas search-based marketing, I'm going to Google and I'm actually typing in, sell my home, what's my home worth? So I'm actually proactively asking for that information. So here's the difference. Search-based marketing, consumers asking for it. Therefore, it has a much higher conversion, and therefore it has a much higher opportunity to really capture, high intent leads, right? Consumers actually proactively searching. Remember, we already talked about it. Sellers are self-assured. 94% of sellers are searching, have already made that decision they're looking to sell. Whereas interruption-based marketing, I didn't go here searching for this. An ad pops up and says, what's your home really worth? Well, of course, I want to know what my home really is worth. But in reality, I didn't ask for this information. Therefore, these tend to be a much lower conversion. So which do you want to do? Well, of course, all agents want conversions, how we get paid, right? So what we recommend, since search-based marketing is a little bit more expensive, but a lot higher conversion and a lower quantity, interruption-based marketing is a lower cost, but a higher quantity. So what we recommend is doing about 80 to 90% or more of your budget into Google Ads, PPC ads, that higher converting, ready to convert lead. And then if you have some budget thereafter, then investing into some interruption-based marketing. And that's everything from Google ads, Facebook ads, Facebook ads, mailings or things like that. But about 80 to 90% should go into search-based Google, okay? All right, so
Yeah,
let's
100%.
go ahead. Let's go ahead and show them exactly what a PPC ad or Google ad looks like.
Yes, absolutely, guys. PPC campaigns, especially right now in today's market, is incredible. There has been over a 40% increase in activity with people that are looking to sell their home on Google. So what exactly does that look like? When you invest in PPC ads, how does that work, right? So really what you're doing when you're purchasing PPC ad campaigns within Google is actually what you're purchasing initially is keywords that are intent-based keywords. So whether it is tips for selling my home in XYZ, what is my home worth in XYZ? And then those keywords are purchased. And then what happens is ad campaigns are created on your behalf. So here's a great example, guys, of a bunch of different keywords to really target potential sellers, even keyword Zillow or Zestimate, right? What happens here is what's called portal diversion. So instead of people going to the portals, those keywords are being captured and sending users, potential sellers, to your ads within Google and the search engine. So those keywords are targeted, those ad campaigns are created on your behalf, pulled to the top of the search engines. Then when the consumer clicks on it, now is where you want to capture the information, as much information as possible. So of course you want to capture a street address, right? That's the most important thing. Can you imagine if you and I were in a room together with 100 people and I went up to you and I said, hey, here's a list of 20 names and street addresses of people who are interested in selling their home. What would you think? You'd be like, thank you, right? It'd be amazing. It's in essence what you're doing on Google is you're capturing those people who are saying, hey, I'm interested in selling my home. What is my home worth, right? So capture that street address. Then you want to get as much information as possible by offering a online home valuation, right? Where you're able to capture, further information, obviously contact number, email, and then of course, generating kind of a soft home valuation where you're able to give an estimate of what their home would be worth. And then when they want to find out more specifically and move things along further, they want to speak to an agent. They're able to raise their hand and click to speak to a professional, which of course, as the ad holder, that would be you. Okay, so awesome, guys. Again, intent-based keywords are huge. And kind of in contrast to a lot of companies, they'll do Facebook ads at interruption-basbased marketing. I'm on the phone looking at pictures of my kid's birthday party and up pops that ad. Hey, want to know what your home is worth? Like Dylan said, I click on it. Doesn't really mean I'm really interested. You interrupted what I was doing. So the conversion on that lead is going to be really low. As opposed to Google, they're actually requesting the information, providing you that raised hand and self-identifying as a potential seller. So what happens next? What happens after that lead is captured? Well, you want to directly send that lead funneled into a CRM system where a notification can be sent directly to the agent to inform them of a new lead. And then, of course, put them in a drip email campaign system, especially designed for potential sellers, such as a 7-day drip campaign, which we'll talk to you about that in just a little bit, okay? So now kind of going back to that interruption-based marketing, again, this is a little bit different. A lot of companies invest in interruption-based marketing on Facebook simply because it is less expensive. And like I told you, I'm on Facebook doing a million other things. I'm not looking at information to sell my home, and an ad would pop up. What is your home worth, or an article that might be interesting. So you get a whole lot of clicks. So the value to that with those ads is all those clicks and maybe populating my information will get you a lot of leads in quantity, but not necessarily a very high converting lead, because I wasn't raising my hand saying, hey, I want to sell my home. I was just kind of curious based on the information you provided. So like Dylan said, it's high volume, but it's a very, very low conversion, whereas Google intent-based leads, it's a little bit of lower volume, more expensive, but much, much higher converting. So Facebook ads, Facebook boosting, there's a difference between the two. Ads are done in the ads manager, a little bit more complex. Boosting is done directly from your Facebook page and allows you to actually, you're basically paying Facebook to ensure that a certain amount of people are going to see your post for a certain amount of time. So where this can be really valuable would be to, for example, your sold properties, right? You sell a property, you put it on your Facebook post, just sold for 20 over asking price, want to know what your home would go for. How about boosting that, right? Target the 20-mile radius around that sold property. Now everyone is going to see that property within that 20-mile radius. Think about that compared to mailings, right? I'm not saying that mailings aren't effective. They can be, but I know I get them, Dylan. I know you do too. And typically end up in the trash can or the recycle bin, right? Whereas for a fraction of the cost, 40, 50 bucks tops, you can be in people's newsfeeds for days, weeks, sometimes longer, right? So a lot of value to doing boosting, more so not even necessarily for lead capture, but in your marketing as well, just to get more eyes on your property. A great way to get new listings is to advertise your sold listings, maybe an article that you would find interesting or valuable, target it to the 20-mile radius around your own neighborhood. Everyone who likes or shares that article, you can invite to follow your social media. So the benefit to that interruption-based marketing, a lot of that is just connecting with more people, getting them to follow your social media and building value that way. Now, ads, Dylan, kind of just share with us a little quick overview of that, just a little bit more at length, and then we'll continue on.
Yeah, where boosting is done only by a post on your Facebook, you are limited into lead capture forms, styles, and certain things. This ads program is much more advanced. You can do a lot more detail, a lot more objectives, goals, different audiences and things. So generally what we tend to see geared for sellers tends to be just sold pushes like Stephanie talked about to neighborhoods, free home valuations, maybe blog content geared for sellers, market report updates, or my personal favorite, video marketing, maybe client testimonials or things that you boost to areas, towns, or neighborhoods. Okay. All right. So let's talk about a couple of things, guys. If you want to learn a little bit more about Facebook, just go to facebook.com/business. And there's a whole site that's dedicated to you to learn how to utilize Facebook ads and boosting.
Oh, yeah. So sorry. I was answering a question in the chat box there. Sorry, Dylan. Yes. So Facebook ads. I'm sorry, Dylan, I totally got distracted answering one of our amazing clients or one of our attendees questions. Were you talking about real quick?
Yeah, it's fine. I got it. No problem. So guys, the next step, so I offered them the facebook.com/business resource. So the next step, let's transition now. Guys, we've talked a lot about lead gen, both organic lead gen through social media SEO. We talked about paid lead gen through search-based marketing, Google ads, and Facebook ads, interruption-based marketing. Now you got these opportunities. You want to start doing some email campaigns, right? You want to now, as you develop your list, what are you doing to nurture that list? And step one, of course, a lot of agents are very familiar, email marketing campaigns. You want to be sending out just sold campaigns, market report campaigns, referral campaigns, another one of my favorite type of campaigns right now to really work and nurture that list. But let's go to the next slide and talk to them about how this is also an opportunity for follow-up campaigns. Now, I want to talk about this because follow-up, once someone raises their hand, whether on Google, on Facebook, and they give you their street address, maybe an email or something, then they say, okay, I have proactively been searching to sell my home, right? You've captured that lead. Now what's really important is your follow-up. And here's why. Remember, 94% of consumers have made their decision they're ready to buy or sell, or they're ready to sell, but they only do about 3 hours of research. So the reality is if you capture them in a window like this, that clock is ticking to help kind of capture that lead. more so than buyers. When I work with agents and they get a bunch of buyers in their pipeline, I say, hey, those leads are going to be longer term. Some leads you might have to nurture buyer leads for a long time. Some other leads are right away. So we actually encourage you to have an intensive 7-day follow-up campaign. And that 7-day follow-up campaign should include emails, client testimonials, market reports. It should also include texting. Guys, texting is one of the most powerful ways to get responses right now with agents. We are seeing a 30 to 40% increase in responses to our leads through texting. So I just wanted to reiterate, once you have that lead, your job's not done. You've definitely got to work that lead over a 7-day period. We encourage, for sellers, an intensive 7-day email and texting campaign.
Yeah, 100%. So important, guys, that you are in their news feeds. Also, another value would be direct mailing. I know that when I talked about boosting, how much value a boost to a sold property would be as opposed to mailings. But now on the other side of it, when you're actually getting a potential seller, with what you're investing in and you get that information, it would be a lot of value to send out a postcard and have your information. I know when I went to marketing school, they talked about being able to touch your potential clients in 3 ways, right? Audibly with a phone call, technologically within their social media and email, and then of course physically, with something that they can touch or hold. A lot of my seller lead clients will also send something tangible, like one of my clients is a wine glass. Every seller lead she gets, she sends a wine glass. She buys them in bulk on Amazon, calls them the next day. Hey, did you get my wine glass? Yes, thanks so much. Great, I got a bottle of wine with your name on it. When can I come over? She kills it. Right. So something tangible is also something really valuable.
Can we go back just for one quick second, Stella?
Yeah,
I just want to reiterate one thing. Look, we've got a lot of seasoned agents in here, and many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with using postcards, mailings. And look, I'm not going to argue is it correct or incorrect, because the reality is some agents get a ton of business from it. I think the reality that we need to think about, though, is when we think about our costs, right, and the return on investment, a lot of times agents spend a boatload of money on mailings and get a very little return on their investment. Okay, like Stephanie said, I'll look at it and then throw it away. Now, what I want you to think about, if you're really focused on still doing mailings, that's fine. But I want you to almost think about mirroring mailings with your online marketing. So what Stephanie was kind of talking about there is, if you get, let's say, 30 leads a month of potential people who are searching online right now, and you get those 30 street addresses, there is far more value to doing, Google ads, getting street addresses, and then mailing those individuals, right? So rather than doing a whole neighborhood and hoping you land the right house at the right time, instead developing a list of high intent street addresses and mailing to them have a much higher return than doing a mass mailing and hope for the best. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, so valuable, guys. Again, I would rather have a smaller list of people who are intent-based than a big, huge list of people that are just maybes, right? So now, once we get you to the door, what were you gonna say, Dylan? I
was just gonna add, Rob, an attendee here today said, help me. If you help me, I'll send you a glass of wine. So So I think you're going to have to get us 2, though. 1 for her, 1 for me.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, we can definitely help you guys. If you guys are interested in capturing seller leads in your area, stick around at the end. We'd be happy to look into your area and see if we have seller lead licenses available. I know a lot of you are like, well, I want some of those. We do have some in, limited amount in every market, but we can certainly help you guys with that. Just hang out to the end of class. So once we get to the door, right? You did your work, you did your marketing, you've sent your wine glass, right? Now you're at the front door. What do we need to do, right? Because competition's tough. What are you going to do to be able to stand out from the rest and really knock it out of the park? So of course, first you want to establish your own credibility. Make sure that you have a strong website in place. I always say clean your house before company comes over, right? Have some testimonials and recent sales to be able to showcase. Now, remember, everything that you would showcase in a little folder your broker gives you, you want to make sure you can back it up online. And when you're connecting with potential sellers, they're going to look you up online. Make sure you have that strong social media presence there. Again, clean your house, your online presence before company comes over, all those leads. Show your prepared marketing strategy. What makes you stand out? Show your marketing plan. I'm going to give you something for you guys to use in your marketing plan here in a second. I'll have you take a picture of this slide. And of course, impress your potential sellers with some professional print material. Sellers love that kind of stuff, those tangible handouts. And discuss a listing price. Do you have a CMA wizard, a CMA platform that you can actually be able to discuss that? We'll show you guys here a slide here in a little bit. And then, of course, close the deal, right? After you have that appropriate listing price discussion, be able to close that deal. So here's some examples, guys, of some beautiful print materials, whether it's just listed postcards or those doorknob hangers, some stylized listing sheets. You know, a lot of really, you want to have make sure you have, you know, beautiful graphics and all that kind of stuff. Sellers love that. And then that CMA, that comparative market analysis presentation. Do you have a tool that you can use to be able to create in a quick, you know, CMA that can regenerate automatically? Because listen, you might create it in the office before you go to that listing presentation, but by the time you get there, after that 15-minute drive, all those actives are pending and those pendings are now sold in today's market, right? You want to have something that you can email to your clients and that will regenerate automatically, as well as be able to have a nice kind of slideshow presentation to be able to present to them as well with your laptop. But make sure that you have something within your online experience that you would be able to create that. So here it is, guys. I want you to take a picture of this slide. Dylan and I call this the moneymaker slide. On your next listing appointment, here's what I want you to be able to confidently say to your potential sellers, right? All right, say here, listen, guys, here's how I'm going to advertise your listing on social media. I'm going to feature your property as a featured property on my website, blog about it on my real estate blog, promote it on my Facebook business page, tweet about your property on my Twitter, post on my LinkedIn and my activity feed, post your property onto my Instagram. I'm going to create a video, put it on my YouTube channel, share that across all of my social media. Guys, do you think your clients would appreciate this? You bet. This is what the industry demands. This is what your clients will demand. And I'm telling you, this is what's going to separate those good agents from those great agents. So take a picture of it, have it in your phone, make sure that you guys are like utilizing this as your goals for this year to make sure you have, this is how we clean that house before company comes over. This is what's going to impress your sellers and get you more listings fast. Dylan, you agree?
And how you market your properties brands you as an agent. Doing this level of marketing, your audience will see, and then they'll think of you the next time they think of they're ready to buy or sell, right? So it's not only a big benefit to close the deal at the listing appointment, but it's an opportunity to get more listings down the road. So like Steph said, take a picture of this.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so let's recap everything that we've been talking about today. I know it's a lot of information. And again, we're happy to schedule those one-on-ones with you guys. Type schedule me in that chat box. So recapping, we want to make sure that we are utilizing our organic lead presence. So having a strong social media platform, making sure that you are on multiple social media platforms to include Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Make sure that you have a strong IDX website, front door to your business, that is integrated with the blog. Remember, every time you post to a blog or you write to your blog, it's going to force those search engines to index that blog, analyze that blog, look at the keywords, placing you higher in Google and the search engines, right? Giving you high SEO. SEO plus social media are going to be what's going to drive traffic and bring you organic lead generation. And then, of course, paid leads. What are the best ways to really invest right now to capture intent-based leads? That'll be through Google sources. Ppc leads, again, have skyrocketed over 40% this past year. So we can discuss that with you guys as well. And then, of course, what do we need to have to win that listing? Of course, being able to showcase everything that you're able to do for them online, having yourself armed and ready with a prepared CMA, as well as different print materials and things like that that you can utilize. Send that wine glass, bring that bottle of wine. Hey, or it could be a coffee mug and you can bring a box of Joe, whatever you want to do, right? But all of these guys working together is what's going to take your business from here to here. If you guys are wondering, gosh, how is that person getting all these listings? I can tell you they're making sure that they're investing in these areas. They're capturing people online. The way business is gotten is different than it used to be. I grew up with my mom, who was a real estate agent. She had her MLS book in the passenger seat. I'm giving away my age, but nowadays door knocking and all of that is just not as effective. I know when somebody knocks on my door, it's so funny. I'm like, who's that? Right? Looking at the Ring doorbell and all of that. But in essence, you can kind of do that virtually. Be able to connect with people, build top of mind, brand yourself as a community expert, and then capture people who are raising their hand online, searching and wanting information from you, provide value in all ways, shapes, and forms. So question for you guys. How many of you agree with me and Dylan that online social media marketing is essential for real estate business and to capture potential sellers? You guys agree with that? Let's see. Raise your hand. Let's see that raise hand button. Raise your hand up here. There you go. Absolutely. Yeah, we all agree. Yes. But we also understand that there's a lot involved with it. You're like, oh gosh, girl, that's a lot. If I were to ask you, all right, who's going to leave here? You're going to start YouTubing and tweeting and doing all of your social media platforms and blogging. How many of you guys are really going to actually leave here today and do that? I hope a lot of you, but for those of you who are feeling a little overwhelmed by it, or quite frankly, just like, I just don't have the time for that or the interest of doing all of that, I need some alternatives. We get it. It is time consuming. It's almost like a full-time job, and it's so valuable. But unfortunately, what happens is agents are like, okay, I'm going to market. I'm going to invest the time. I'm going to market. Well, guess what? Marketing equals business. You're going to get business from that. So now you're busy being a real estate agent. So what happens? You're busy being an agent. Well, now your marketing's starting to drop off. Well, now you need more business. You're going to market. Well, now you're busy. And you guys see where I'm going with this. Dylan and I call it the real estate roller coaster. So, or maybe you're just not efficient with it. I'm not even really doing much marketing at all. And it's not my forte. And, Steph, I'm not the millennial. This isn't my bag here. So we get, Dylan and I work with agents all over the country, and we get it that there's a lot of things that keep you from really fully engaging. So what I'm going to invite you guys to do, if that's you, if you are really looking for something that can help you with this, an all-in-one solution, and I told you guys that we have a program that can not only capture those potential sellers online, but have that system and that process and that online presence so that you automated and integrated so you don't have to do a thing. How would that make you feel? Pretty awesome, right? All right, well, we're going to go ahead and dive in here and show you guys the Elevate solution, where we can take care of every bit of this from A to Z, from your website to those leads, and create a system for you to actually start gaining new business today. So the first things first, like Dylan mentioned, your online presence starts with your website. So we're going to start with your website.
Steph, before you dive in, I just want to mention one thing, because we got a couple of questions coming in real quick.
Sure.
Those of you who would like a one-on-one demo, all you have to do is type in demo. I know some people have to jump off, but just type in demo, your phone number, and your email, and Stephanie and I can get you scheduled for a one-on-one session. But Stephanie's going to showcase to you quick here today, guys, what it's all about and the additional discounts you get for joining here today.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. We will wrap this up within our 90 minutes. No worries. All right. So first things first, your website, right? We are going to build you your own independent IDX website. You will work with our design team and pick colors and logos and photos and layouts. We will match the look, feel, and design of your business, and it will be a dynamic website. Like I said, downloading from the MLS every 15 minutes, 24 hours a day. I'm going to show you how we're going to make that dynamic. But first things first, guys, on your website, this is your client resource. And we are going to highlight featured properties, which can be your listings, office listings. You can have no listings at all. Doesn't matter to us. We are going to make sure every single property in the MLS is branded to you, so that when I want to search for properties, I will be able to get that beautiful search experience right on my phone, where I can search any properties in the MLS. I can get all the photos from the MLS. I can click on them, make them bigger. I can save it to favorites. We call this the Millennial Safe button, because there's little to no commitment. As soon as I do that, I'll be put into your CRM system, which we'll be talking about here shortly, with automatic text response. It's amazing. But going back to that listing, we're going to have full listing sheet on every single property. So I won't have to go anywhere else to get all the information I need. We'll put your property on a map view, which I think is really, really important. We're also going to highlight sold homes in the area, creating that urgency in today's market, provide school and community information. We'll suggest similar properties, and of course, all of your branding down below. But here's the deal, guys. What makes our website different than any other website in the industry is that static versus dynamic. So how do we make a website dynamic? As well, we have to integrate it with blog and social media, right? So we're going to do that for you. First thing we're going to do, we're going to embed that blog right inside of your website. Now it's your blog. You can do whatever you want with it. You can add your own articles, photos, videos, anything you want. Once you put it on your blog, it's going to automatically go to all of your social media. I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. But even if you did no blogging, if you notice here, Allison, one of our clients near me in Florida, she looks like a pretty active blogger, right? She's got pages and pages and pages of blogs. Well, guess what, guys? She doesn't do any of it. We do it for her. So here's how we're going to do that. First things first, guys, we are actually going to create content that is relevant to your area. We have writers that work for our company creating content on your behalf. And of course, we want to create content that's going to attract potential sellers, right? That would be awesome. But all of these articles that you see here, they're yours. You're the author of it. So if you wanted to edit it, change it, delete it, I don't know why you would delete it. We certainly could. You can do whatever you want with it. If you wanted to add to that title, 3 benefits of hiring a real estate agent to sell your home in Fishhawk Ranch, Florida, whatever it might be, that's my area. You can do whatever you want with it. We're going to title it with hyperlinks and keywords and make it like gold in Google and the search engines. Every single week, we're going to create lifestyle content for you, business information, travel, recipes, you name it. And then we're going to share it to all of your social media. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to follow your MLS ID, and we are going to create a story based on every single stage of your transaction: new listing, sold, open house, price reduction, you name it. Any transaction, any MLS updates, we are going to blog it for you. So this is another property sold. We're going to have lead capture with it. I'm going to put it to your Facebook. I want to learn more about that property. I'll go right back to that listing sheet where there is lead capture. Okay. The other thing we're going to do for your blog is we're going to do those market reports. Remember how important we said that creating those market reports under the umbrella of your business are to capturing potential sellers. So you can pick as many feature towns as you'd like. You can do 2, you can do 12, you can do 20, as many as you'd like. We're going to create those market updates. It's all MLS fed. And then when I want to check out the values in that area, that lead capture is going to go directly to you and only you. So remember, we told you the key to effective blogging is consistency and quality content. Well, we got you covered. We're going to take care of that. Now, everything we put to your blog is also going to go to all of your social media automatically. So Facebook business page, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. If you don't have one of those platforms, we'll build it for you and we'll integrate it into the back end of your site to your CRM. And then we're going to make you look like a social media rock star. Again, Allison here, she looks active, consistent, professional. She's got all different types of content and everything is branded to her website. If I want to find out again what my home is worth in Jupiter, Florida, I'm going to go right back on her website, we're going to create that gated experience for her audience so that they never go anywhere else. Everything branded to her. All you notice here, people are engaging with her content. Check this out. This is a new listing. Again, I'm curious. I click on it. I go right back to that property where I can get more information, but also what an awesome article to boost, right? And get more get more eyes on that property. Or if it was that sold property, again, we'll create the content. We're just going to make sure that everything stays active for you. You do nothing. Okay. Also, so like I said, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. If you guys aren't tweeters, well, guess what? By this time next week, you're all going to be tweeters. But again, if you're struggling with consistency, if you're struggling with the time or the management of it all, we're going to take care of all of it for you so you look like a Twitter rock star, just like Allison here. And then lastly, guys, YouTube, we talked about how important that is for lead capture. We're going to create your virtual tours on your behalf. Anytime you get a new listing, we are going to take those photos, stitch them together, lay them over some music, create a beautiful virtual slideshow on your behalf. We're going to make sure that we're titling it with street addresses, keywords, and then of course, linking it all right back to your website where there is lead capture. So completely valuable, guys. Again, you do nothing. So Dylan, kind of bring us back, give us a little recap as to everything that we're going to provide here today.
Yeah, so you're going to have that IDX website, whether you have a domain or we help find one for you. We're going to build you an active, dynamic website integrated to the MLS. It's going to have an integrated blog, and we're going to take care of all that blogging creation for you. Weekly articles, real estate news, tips and tricks, market reports, and we're then going to take all that great content, push it to all of your social media platforms, all linking back to your website and your CRM system. We have a fully integrated CRM system, as well as the YouTube virtual tours. There's texting to your leads. There's email marketing to your leads, all automatic. It has behavioral tracking analytics to tell you what leads are hotter versus colder. It has smart responses based off of email and texting, if it's a buyer lead, if it's a seller lead. So if you don't get to the lead right away, we're responding to it right away for you. So again, everything all in one system. So all this great stuff integrated: email marketing, web presence, social marketing, texting, voice over IP, you name it.
Those 7-day seller campaigns, it's in your system. Don't worry, we got your back. We're going to do it for you guys.
Yeah.
So
go
ahead.
I was going to say, why don't we go over the price? Because I think that's kind of the most exciting part, because guys, since you joined us here today, we're going to honor an incredible discounted rate here for all of you, which is going to include the cost of the program and then the discount rates.
That's right. So guys, our foundation, right? We call this when I say clean your house before company comes over, right? Your IDX website, your forward facing, all your social media platforms, your nurturing tools, email marketing. If you guys have MailChimp, Constant Contact, save your money. All of it's included. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the blog, the content, everything. Typically it costs $300. You couldn't even pay a college student that to do your Facebook. Trust me, I've got a couple of them, right? For you guys, only $200. That's it. That's it. So $200, guys. If you are interested in getting on this platform, type DMS in the chat box, either Dylan or myself. We will call you guys today. We will connect with you, answer any questions, and get you up and running so that by this time next week, you guys can all be social media rock stars.
So yes. Hold on. I just want to add one quick thing as people are typing in DMS. Very important. You got to put DMS, your phone number, and your email. Otherwise, there's no way for us to get in touch with you. So guys, type in DMS, your phone number and or email, and Stephanie and or I will reach out to you. We'll showcase our phone numbers here in a second, but look, we'll answer questions for you. We'll talk about what you're currently doing, what your goals are. And if this is a good match for you guys, we'll go ahead and get you up and running. You'll get those discounted rates. But again, to showcase that you guys are interested and you want those discounts, you've got to type in DMS, your phone number and email, and we'll reach out to you here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, put those phone numbers and emails, guys. Otherwise, we won't have your contact info. All right. So now for those of you who are like, this is great, I want the DMS, but you know what? I also want leads. Let's go back to that pay-per-click advertising, those people raising their hand. How do I get a lead license in my area? We got you covered. We're going to do advanced lead generation on top of your DMS platform for those of you who are looking to accelerate that lead generation and capture sellers or buyers in your area. So we're going to purchase the keywords, do that portal diversion, create the ad campaign, put them through those series of squeeze pages so we get all those street addresses, contact information, put them through a soft home valuation process, and send that lead directly to you. Data makes the difference. We're going to do everything we can to get as many leads into your bucket as possible. It is a high volume. It is a long-term game, and we are here to ensure the success of it. A couple stats that you will find impressive, guys. Our click-to-lead opt-in rates over 20%. That's 2 to 3 times 2 to 3 times the capture rate of our competitors. More leads, less money, which is what I love. 100% of your buyers will have an email address. 100% of your sellers will have a street address. So important, guys. Just want to highlight that. It's not a lead if you can't connect with them, right? More connections, and 74% will provide additional information. Do they own? Do they rent? Are they pre-qualified? What's their time frame? Are they looking to sell now or in 6 months? We're going to do everything we can to get as much information as possible, but we do guarantee that information provided, guys. These are exclusive leads. So this means if everybody here today was like, I want seller leads in my area, or I want buyers in my area, we couldn't do that. Now, the value of that is, of course, there's a limited amount of agents that will be able to take advantage of it, unlike Zillow, where Zillow, all of you can go in on one zip code and whoever gets to it first gets it. We don't do it that way. We do have a certain amount of lead licenses in every area. So it is first come, first serve. I have to give you that disclaimer because when you see the prices, you guys are going to be going nuts over this. So for our platform, that includes the entire DMS, the website, the social media, the nurturing tools, everything, the automation, plus leads. You ready for this? Our first level platform, guys, is called our DMS Plus, which normally you guys see the prices here. It's either $4.99 a month total or $6.99 a month total, including the DMS and the leads. We're doing it for you guys. Buyer leads, 5 to 10 a month on top of your DMS, only $300 a month. Seller leads, 5 to 10 sellers every single month on top of your DMS. Total price, $400. If you guys are interested in going in at this level, type DMS Plus or just type leads in the chat box. Let us know. The next platform we have is our Elite platform. This is for those agents who are looking to take their business to that next level. These are 20 to 30 exclusive leads in your area that will go to you and only you. Our buyer program is normally $1,000 a month, which if you've invested in online leads before, is extremely competitive, but check this out. We're doing it for you guys with this RE Technology webinar here today for attending, only $750 a month. And you're welcome. We're going to give you guys 50% off your first 2 months. Unbelievable. We want to lower that barrier to entry for all of you here today. Only $375, 20 to 30 buyer leads every single month, or we're going to honor the same price for sellers. This is the big one today, guys. It's normally $1,200 a month. We're doing it for $750 and honoring 50% off your first 2 months, only $375 a month. Think about it. 20 to 30, let's say 40 to 60 sellers after the first 2 months, guys. This is amazing.
I think that's a great point, Steph. After they've gotten month 1, 20 to 30 leads, month 2, 20 to 30 leads, that means 40 to 60 leads in their pipeline, and then it will go to the $750, and it will stay at that $750 price point. I know agents that pay $750 or more just for a handful of non-exclusive leads on Zillow. And first of all, they're buyer leads only. There's no website. There's no social media marketing. There's no management tools. It's just a handful of leads you pray that you can close. This system, you're getting a guaranteed 20 to 30 leads or a guaranteed 5 to 10. These are exclusive. They include the website, the social media. It includes the ad spend too. I work with agents who they pay a platform fee and then they pay an ad spend fee. No, this is all included. You won't pay any more than these additional fees here you're seeing. There's no additional charges or anything like that. So guys, if you're interested in Elite, type in Elite. If you're interested in DMS Plus, type in DMS Plus. Or if you're just not really sure, but you're interested in leads, type in leads. But look, guys, if you have a static website, you struggle with social media, you struggle with follow-up, you struggle with maintaining leads, leads are a high volume game, long-term game. This program will take all those pieces, automate it, and integrate it. That's
right.
Powerful.
A lot of times, guys, agents will, they'll pay one company for this, for their website, one company for leads, one company for CRM, and then they end up spending so much money, and then these pieces aren't even talking all together. So the Elevate solution, we decided, how can we create one system, one process, one login that can encompass everything and save you money and allow you to be able to connect with your clients, build that online presence, and be able to nurture your leads more effectively, all in one system. That's why NAR calls us the easy button or the all-in-one solution. Now, we also, for those of you who are asking, what about buyers and sellers? We do have a bundle package, which is 20 to 30 buyers and 20 to 30 sellers. If you are interested in leads at that level, we are giving you guys 50% off. Just that we can discuss that when we call you. But definitely type leads in the chat box. Dylan or I will call you and be able to see what's the best fit for you. You can go up or you can go down. Let's say you decide to start at DMS Plus and seller leads, you're spending $400 a month. Great. Well, you decide after a couple months, gosh, I want more. This is great. You can always go and get more. You can always upgrade if we have lead licenses available, of course. Or let's say you did the Elite Seller Program for 6 months and you decide, I really don't need this many right now. You can always back it down to the 5 to 10. We are totally flexible with you guys with that. We are here to ensure your success. With the Elite programs, we also provide a one-on-one success coach to be able to monitor your market and make sure that you are handling and following up with those leads effectively. And then, of course, Dylan and I are always here to answer questions or to take care of you at any stage of the game. So, guys, we are going to go ahead and wrap up our class here today. We are going to leave our chat box up. Please make sure for all of you who are needing attention from myself or Dylan, whether it be for buyers leads, sellers leads, the DMS platform, anything at all, please leave us your name, phone number, and email so that we can connect with you guys directly. We are here to answer your questions at any level. Yeah, Dylan?
Yeah, guys, if you have questions, now's the time to type in the chat box. Usually at the end of our seminars, we do a Q&A session. But I also want to mention one other thing. Don't feel like you need to make a decision right now. If you're not sure, you can also type in undecided, okay? Don't worry, we will help figure out what's going to fit your budget, what's going to fit your needs, what's your goals. You know, just by typing in undecided, we'll know you're interested in learning about our services further. We'll reach out to you, Stephanie and or I, and we will talk to you about what's going to be a good fit. So if you're undecided, type in undecided as well. I'm going to be calling from that 508 number, so make sure you answer that. Stephanie will be calling from that 813 number. But we look forward to talking to you guys and really helping putting your business into systems so that your online presence is one program, one system, one solution, and we'll help make this the best year of real estate for you yet.
That's right. Hey guys, be the person in the room that gets those 20 street addresses, right? So you can start sending those wine glasses. We're here to help you with that success. RE Technology, thank you so much for hosting us here today and just allowing an awesome, awesome platform for us to be able to deliver great information to agents. We are so thankful to be working with you guys. Agents, you're the best. Go out there. Listen, September's right around the corner. I call September Real Estate New Year. So we're going to get that burst of business, guys, before we head into the holidays. We are here to make you guys awesome. Talk to you all soon. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I didn't miss any questions. If you guys scheduled a one-on-one, that is no problem. We can either call you today and get that over with or discuss it during our one-on-one. But if you guys want a platform, we can go ahead and take care of you guys, give you a call beforehand. Let's see, what else? Any other questions?
Just one other thing I'll just mention, because there's a couple that put in undecided. Just make sure if you put undecided, that's no problem. Just going to put your phone number so we can reach out to you, as I mentioned.
Name and phone number. You guys are just like leads, right? You need contact information, right? Make sure you guys let us know that information. Can't wait to talk to you all. Again, this is no commitment. This is just letting me and Dylan know who out of all of you guys here today would like to talk to us further and get going on one of our platforms. So thank you guys. Have an awesome, awesome week. Go kill it. It's the best Monday ever. Talk to y'all soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, RE Technology. Woo-hoo.